So here's a single kettlebell at-home program that will help you be explosive, build muscle, get your conditioning up, all in one go. And all you need is one bell, one heavier, one lighter one, actually, so that means you need two bells, right? But check this out. All right, so we start with a lighter bell. When you do kettlebell deadlift jumps, we're gonna contrast that with some pogo jumps, right? Basically, what we're working on is explosiveness, but also some elasticity. And again, this is like anybody can do it, but it's gonna help anybody out. So my kettlebell deadlift jumps, I get into my deadlift position. I'm gonna make them reactive, responsive, right? So I'm gonna jump. So I'm not touching the ground, right? I'm just loading and exploding. We got 6 to 8 reps on those KB deadlift jumps. I'm gonna rest about 30 seconds, and then my pogos are gonna be soft knees, but pretty stiff. You can see how I'm using elasticity as tendons to get 10 to 12 reps on this one. So we start week 1 with 3 sets. We'd work up to 4 sets throughout the weeks. All right, the second superset, we're gonna do a single leg squat to box. This will be kind of like our main strength movement, because even with body weight, by the way, you know, depending on your fitness levels, just body weight might be challenging. But if you can challenge yourself a little bit more, we're just gonna go bell on that same side as the working leg. I'm gonna sit down to a chair, to a box. I'm gonna control that. Going down, driving up. Again, even with a 35, man, this is challenging, right? I'll give a couple more. Right, and we're gonna work that somewhere 6 to 8 reps. Again, controlling it down. You don't wanna just drop your butt to it. We do both sides, and then we would superset with a 3-point row. And I'm gonna, again, use that bench and go from this angle a little bit, just so you guys can see better, right? But you can even stagger this a little bit if you want to. So you can notice my right leg's a little bit further back. I'm pushing into it, okay? Elbow into the pocket. Pause, get that big stretch. You can even dead stop it on the ground while I keep some tension. So I'm dead stopping it, but keeping lat tension. So I get that range of motion. Okay, so we're hitting that for 10 to 12 reps. And you can see that stretch. I'm still keeping lat tension. Elbow into the pocket, pause it. All right, this next one, we got a hinge move one. So we're on single leg RDL with a knee drive. Now, here's the thing. If you don't have great stability, you can just tap onto something. So I'll show you kind of both variations. But we're gonna go RDL. So if I'm using the right leg, we're gonna be here. I'm gonna drive down, keep my hips square, and then coming back up. Again, like this takes a lot of control, so you can kind of already see me bending a little bit. This is where I would go back, and I got minimal point of contact, right? You can see I'm barely touching this, but just enough. Right, and I go 12 to 15 reps, both sides. Again, if you can do it without the support, do it without support. But if you're having clunky reps because of it, in that case, I would just do it with a little bit of support. From there, we're gonna go to single arm floor press, but we're gonna do 1.5 reps, right? So I'm gonna go here, keep that bent knee position, push my low back into the ground. So I'm gonna go halfway, all the way. Right, so nice and controlled, no bouncing, right, halfway, all the way. So this is gonna be a 10 to 12. So it actually ends up being quite a bit of tension. Whew. All right, so pretend that this was the 12th rep, okay? Rolling back down. Now, just in general with these supersets, what we're doing is between one exercise and the next, we got about 30, 45 second break. And then we have about a 60 to 90 second break between the supersets. So now this part is a density set. So for 10 minutes, we're gonna do 3 exercises, and we're gonna push it as much as we possibly can. Meaning in those 10 minutes, we're trying to get as many rounds of this as possible, but with quality reps, So the first one's gonna be a 1.5 rep goblet squat, and we're gonna do that for 8 reps. Right, so I'm taking that heavier bell that I have, we're gonna go, so imagine I started the timer, boom, we go, right? So half rep, full rep. Half rep, full rep. 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretend I got to 8. My second exercise is gonna be a clean and press. Single arm for 5 per side. I'm gonna dead stop it every time. So I'm gonna clean it, press, bring it back down. If you need to push press it a little bit, you can. I'm gonna go 5 reps on the right side, 5 reps on the left side. And the third one, this is a great core drill that I love. Again, you can go with the heavier or lighter bell. I'm actually gonna go with the heavier one. It's gonna be a reverse crunch to kettlebell pullover. Now this one, we're gonna go 5 to 6 reps because it's pretty challenging. So I got a contact point here. I'm gonna go reverse crunch. Control it down slowly. Extend and bring it over. Reach, abs, bring it back down. Two, you can kind of see this pace. 3, right, so I'd hit that for 5, and then guess what? We're gonna go pick it right back up, go into our goblet squat, 1.5 reps. As you can imagine, you're probably gonna go, 1.5 to 2 minutes per round, which means you should be able to get 4, 5 rounds if you're pushing the pace on this, right? So we're getting quite a good chunk of volume in here. Heart rate's gonna be up too, okay? So that's gonna be our density block, and then we just have one last thing, a little finisher. It's coming up. This last part is gonna be kettlebell swing EMOM, which means every minute on a minute, right? Usually week 1, I probably start with around 12 swings, right? So every swing is crisp. Once I get my 12 swings, which will take me 15 to 20 seconds, I just rest till the top of the next minute. I like to, you can do active rest, meaning once I get done with my swings, I'm just kind of bouncing around, right? Rather than just standing there, okay? So I'll just give you guys 2 per 10 rounds, okay? So if I started a timer, we're going. Maximum snap on these. You're probably gonna go with your heavier bell. So however long that took, right? Again, if you wanna make it a little harder, you can just bounce around. So let's say it's gonna take you 40 seconds, right? You're shaking out the tension. Pretend we're on the top of the minute, right? So top of the minute, and here we go. So that would be the second one, right? And here's the thing. I would say 10 rounds, but you can start as little as 8, right? Which means 8 minutes. If you start at 8 minutes, you're just adding a minute per week. If you're more advanced, you can add 2 per week. So 8, 12, 14, 16, right? Obviously it becomes quite a bit challenging. You can start even lower if you want to, but it kind of gives you a little bit of a range. So this training session will probably take you less than an hour, okay?